Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and Spider-Man and Wolverine, issue number 6. The previous storyline is in fact ended. We're kind of talking about it a little bit in this issue, but it's showing this is going to be an ongoing. And good, darn it, because it's a great series. All right, let's get talking about who made this comic book. We'll move on from there. So this issue is called Life and Death Choices. Mark Guggenheim is the writer. How the heck am I supposed to read that? Penciler is Gerardo Sandoval. Inkers are Gerardo Sandoval, and especially Victor Mava. He's actually got top billing. It's just whatever. Brian Reber doing colors. Probably Reber, because there's only one B. Anyway, and VC's Travis Lanham on letters, and Kari Andrews doing cover art. Why am I so bad with names today? Let's just say in general that a lot of people did some variant covers, and Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. Okay, so this was, it talked a little bit about what had happened before. The death fellow, I can't believe I forgot his name, but whatever, it is what it is. The guy from the previous, the main bad guy who's behind the scenes. We're clearly going to be seeing something from him again at some point soon. I don't want to hear that he died or blah, 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 because I don't believe that. All right. This was not Uncle Ben. Holy crap. What if it was Uncle Ben? Anyway, this guy's coming back. All right. At some point, because he's got a lot more to show, obviously, because they're still talking about this guy in this issue. Hey, we're not supposed to be, worried about life or death or blah, 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 blah. How do we continue doing things like that? It's funny. Obviously, Spider-Man Peter is going to be like really upset by what had occurred. But it's funny that it's Wolverine who's actually giving him the psychological excuse to just chill out. It's like, hey, you find a crime, you go and you stop the person and you report it to the police. That's what you do anyway, right? It's like, yeah, technically. It's like, of course, freaking a psychopath like Wolverine is going to know how to have a conversation with somebody and blow something off. Of course, what does he wind up doing later on in this issue? I'm not saying any names, but yeah, something happens. You know what? I'm just going to point this out. They happen to go into some Morlock tunnels. Oh, are you excited to read this now? You can see by the previews that Vermin is in this. All of him, all of them. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. He's such a great throwaway villain. I'm pretty sure I did one of those YouTube shorts about Vermin at some point. Go and look it up. Vermin profile, Comic Book University. I'm sure it'll come up with like 200 more shorts that I've been putting out. Anyway, all of this is really good. It's funny. I ran into a little bit of issue with Mark Guggenheim on my personal Facebook account and his very public Facebook account. And he had some very mean things to say about the opposite political party. A political party that I somewhat associate with. I'm just going to put this out there, guys. Regardless of what my position is, your position is, everybody's position is, it's good to have different political beliefs. It really is. And I don't remember a time when we ever sat around talking about how we'd be better off assassinating the other side. I mean, it's never made sense to me, So if I could be so bold as to say it's a good thing to talk or to say something, but when you start cursing out the other side, when you start saying the other side is, this, that, and the other thing, and it's one thing to brush with broad strokes. It's another thing to actually start saying none of them are salvageable and things like that. I mean, I don't care which side of the political aisle you fall on. That's not exactly great forget about sales, forget about anything like that, When they start saying, the other side isn't smart enough to whatever. Bro, this guy's in movies. I don't like to brag, but I mean, some of you are probably using devices I worked on when I was an engineer in order to look at this review. I'm just saying, right? There's a lot that I've done in the engineering world, and unfortunately not enough to get patents. And I'm pretty sure that Guggenheim is getting some royalties somewhere, somehow. So he's smarter than me in that regard. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've affected a few more people than he has, right? And in a very positive way. And it's not in the arts. That's not to disparage the arts, but if you start thinking that the arts are smarter, more intelligent, more STEM than the actual STEM fields, like we've got questions, you know? I think it'd be wise if some of us just calmed down. Seriously, calmed down. It's not about lowering the temperature at this point. It's more like put it on a freaking simmer. All right? Let's not come back to it later. Maybe it's time to eat before the stuff gets burnt. And let's all sit down at a table together, shut our mouths and just eat, right? Uh, It kind of affected me. I almost didn't want to read this book, except I do have the ability to put aside rude or bad things about certain people just because I would rather think kind things about them. And even if I can't do that about the individual, I can at least respect that they still do good work. And in this case, Guggenheim absolutely does really good work, despite what he apparently thinks of me and people with my affiliation. So there's that. Um, yeah, I hope that we could be more civil as time goes on. That's really all I've got to say on that. That's all I've got to say on this book. It's a fantastic book. Absolutely buy this book. It's enjoyable. It's funny, the art style in here is starting to lean more manga than anything else, which I think is a really excellent choice. I'm just saying. Anyway, loving what I'm reading. I think you guys will too. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.